Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the test server, which means we're going to be breaking down the skills and abilities when it comes to the awakened version of Skriath. We also do have the autumn times that are up. You can see we have 1,500 diamonds, also a reward chest. So make sure you do grab that before it's gone. And then we have the new trial hero, of course, which is huge, but there he is, the Sands of Revolt. I have to tell you guys, when I look at him visually, absolutely epic. I love how he looks. Looking at the event, looking at the overview that we have right here, remember the gift of time is going to yield you 50 time emblems. If you're currently working on a hero, I would recommend and highly recommend continuing to build the hero with the time emblems you get. We also get the discount, and then later the new events are coming soon. At the reset tonight at 8 o'clock, we'll actually get access to everything else. So in totality, you get about 100 time emblems every time that a hero drops, which is absolutely awesome because you have the ability to, again, continue building the hero that you have or go ahead and build in the new hero that was released. Now, a lot of heroes or a lot of players are saying right off the bat, he is not going to be meta by any means. I haven't even looked at skills and abilities, but that's the comments that I've seen over on my YouTube channel, is saying that he is not going to be meta. So right off the bat, he is mage, he is damage. So this is important because continuous damage roll, that means a lot of times that the longer term fights, he's going to be a lot more prevalent. He's going to do a lot more damage. Shorter term fights, usually not. If you're looking at like the Nightmare Corridor, 8, 10, 15 seconds. Usually the continuous damage doesn't do that much, but we're going to have to see in time exactly where he's being used. So looking at the ultimate skill, sends or summons 3 waves that hurl from the allied side of the battlefield to the enemy side, 360% of the attack rating to all enemies, knocking them back. So this is going to be a damage dealer. This is going to be a pushback. Now, there's a lot of heroes that it's important when it comes to the build or when it comes to the location of enemies. It's interesting because this pushback could make a big difference on keeping everyone on the enemy side of the battlefield. Each time he casts his ultimate, the number of sand waves increase by 1 up to 10. Guys, if he is casting 10 waves, and again, the extended duration of some of these battles, 10 waves, if it's 360% of his damage to all enemies, and it is 10 waves, that might be incredibly, incredibly strong. Increase the number of sand waves summoned to 4. After summoning 4 sand waves, Skriath creates a sand vortex, which we've seen in the video, beneath a random enemy. So that is random. However, some of the game modes where there is only one enemy, or if you have everyone clumped up in a group, this could make a difference in really amplifying the damage that we do see with this hero. So looking at the Maelstrom Abyss, he creates a circular sand vortex behind a target enemy, lasts for 7 seconds. That's a pretty long duration. Each second, the vortex deals damage equal to 80% of the attack rating to enemies' range and pulls them into the center. So it is just like a vortex. Enemies moving within the vortex range have their haste and movement speed, which we've seen in the video again, gradually wearing off. After being struck by sand waves 2 times, sand vortex transforms into a sand prison. The pull effect grows stronger and the intervals shorten once every 0.5 seconds. Up to 4 sand vortexes and prisons can exist. Guys, he could lock down the entire battlefield with keeping, again, kind of everyone together. And I don't know if these are going to stack in one single place or if you only have one single target. If there's going to be multiple, that is going to be interesting. When a sand vortex becomes a prison, its duration extends to 7 seconds. The sand vortex reduces haste and movement speed by 60 and 50%. Again, PvP, this is going to be huge. After reaching the max number of sand vortices and sand prisons on the battlefield, the damage that Skriath deals is guaranteed to crit. Wow. Haste might have a really big impact on here on getting those ultimate abilities off. When the sand prison ends, it deals 400% of the attack rating to enemies and stuns them. Again, a secondary form of crowd control, not only negating the movement, but now stunning the enemy. Sand waves that deal damage to enemies inside a sand prison also reduce magical resistance and tenacity. That means stacking up to 12 times right here. So he is going to be doing more damage by lowering the enemy's magical resistance. Again, it seems like he's going to be pretty meta, guys. The Arcane Rite, each time an allied hero deals damage, Skriath's artifact gains 2 Dune charges, the max limit of 400. When Sand Veil is active, Skriath's artifacts gain 2 Dune charges for 3 seconds after casting his ultimate. He recovers energy equal to 75% of his current Dune charges. That means he could almost chain ults, increases max Dune charge to 1,000. Magical Pierce and crit damage amplification are increased by 5% of his current Dune charges. If that maxes out at 1,000, that could be crazy. Again, getting him to cycle through all of his skills and abilities a lot faster could amplify his damage through the roof. That that's going to be interesting to see. And of course, the final one, the Bladed Sand. Start a battle. He remains invisible and untargetable off the battlefield while summoning a sand veil that covers the battlefield for 7 seconds. This is what we see in the delay when he comes into battle. When the sand veil is activated, damage dealt by units on the battlefield cannot exceed 25% of the attack rating. That is going to cap burst teams. When the sand veil disappears, Skriath enters the battlefield at his deployed location. When the sand veil disappears, he immediately casts his ultimate and summons one extra sand wave for every 100 Dune charges he has. When the sand veil disappears, all allied units gain a damage boost equal to a percentage of the attack rating. The more Dune charges he has, the stronger the boost. Up to 300% of his attack rating, guys. Let me read that one more time. When the sand veil disappears, which is when he enters, all allied units gain a damage boost equal to a percentage of his attack rating. So the higher you get the attack rating for Skriath, the more that damage boost is going to go to all allied units. The more Dune charge Skriath has, the stronger the boost, up to 300% of his attack. Wow, that could be a massive, massive boost. When you look at getting all of these sand charges up, that is going to be very cool to see. Then we have his SP effect. At the start of battle, all other heroes lose 15% of the initial attack rating. When Skriath enters the battlefield, he gains 100% of the total attack rating those heroes lost, up to 150% of his own initial attack rating. Again, this is going to be the reason why you're going to have to build him up. You're going to have to build him up with a significant amount of attack, because the higher that you're tapping the attack rating for him, the initial attack rating, the better he is going to perform, just because all of his skills are based on attack. And even thinking collection wise, it is going to be based on attack, which is going to be huge. Then I think of like the Zephyriel's collection, stacking that with a bunch of attack could really be crazy with what we're seeing on this hero, and the crit damage amplification, because he can cap his crit at 100%, or critting every single time based on the abilities that we have here. Critical strike is guaranteed. That's going to be super interesting. Again, seems like he might fall into meta just because of the damage dealer and all of the crowd control effects that he has. Going to be very cool to see. So Arena of Trials, let's hop in here and I'll show you kind of what we looked at yesterday, because there was a sneak peek from the Chinese server. Looking here, there is the battlefield, there is the effect. Boom, he will pop up in just a second. There he is. And then we start the attacks. You can see the sand vortices right under him. And again, thinking about this is, if you're putting, you can see one appeared right there. There's the ultimate ability. Boom, those sand waves come through and kill everything. And again, I'm thinking, if you're stacking them together, could it go through, and they're not even surviving long enough, but could we go through and have a lot of these together, or stack a lot of these? That's going to be kind of crazy to see. All right, let's hop in here in our secondary trial, the Arena Guardian, and see what he can do. Now, I'm almost wondering, the delay in battle, you know what? Let's put all of our maulers in here. I'm almost wondering, like, the delay coming into battle, what exactly that is going to look like, or how long it takes. I want to see, because that is going to make a little bit of a difference where, okay, so battle starts. We are 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we're 6 seconds in here, guys. So he's about 8 seconds on the first cast. That is a very, very, very big delay. Does get all 5 kills right there. Yeah, 4.58, 3.12. Again, looking at the new support mauler, I'm doing pretty well. But yeah, that's a big delay. But like I was saying earlier, when it comes to battles that have an extended duration, battles that are going to last that full minute 30, like the Nightmare Corridor, even PvP, because of the crowd control, this could make a big difference. Now, again, if he's 8 seconds in, or in coming into battle, thinking of like the Nightmare Corridor might not have quite the impact that we see in there, just for the fact that going through here, it is going to be that much of a delay to come in. And what happens if he's the only one here? They just sit here. They're getting some shielding up. They're just kind of hanging out. Boom, he shows up. There's the stand, going to knock everyone back. Yeah, see, just got crowd control, just got rocked. All right, so we know we're gonna have to need at least someone to protect him. You know what? Let's put in both of our tanks in here. I know we have the new support right up front, but again, this is gonna be interesting because your team's gonna take a lot of damage while this sandstorm is going on. Here comes the ultimate. Boom! There is the sand waves again. Just ran over everyone with those sand waves. Yeah, 3.4, 3.8. And again, because of that big delay we see coming into combat, that's going to be very interesting. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new hero. And as always, thank you guys for watching.